Life is just a box of chocolate. Or should I say, you never know. As much as I want to believe this phase out story about nurses, particular LPNs, I don't think they can do that. Phase them out. Stay tuned. Yeah, I just got back from an assignment and I think it was Michigan. I've been so many places I can't remember. Anyway, I just got back and I worked in a hospital, a big, huge hospital, and it was a lot of LPNs that were around me, surround me. They were giving out meds. It was a psych ward, psych unit. I think it was like 60 beds, and we had all these LPNs. Maybe you have I think it was 3 or 4 LPNs, and the rest of us was RN. And LPN were giving out meds and doing what they do best. And I thought about this because I read when I was in nursing school as an LPN, I was told that we're going to be phased out. You better get your RN because LPN is not going to be working anymore. They're not going to have any more LPN. Okay, so I ran not because of that. I decided, due to the way I see how LPN was being treated, I said, okay, I get a little respect if I become an RN. I became an RN. The story still stick. In school, the first discussion was, we're going to phase out the LPN. They're not going to have LPN anymore, RN, so you have to do primary care. And primary care means you got to do everything for your patient. You may not even have a CNA. Come on. CNA or they call them PCT techs in the hospital. Where are they? They usually only have one, but you don't want to kill that one tech because you never get to see them because one nurse always has them alone by themselves. So that was the discussion. We're going to phase out LPN. rn-lpn. LPN can't work in the hospital. Phase them out. They don't have no job anymore. Well, that was in 1998. Now we're at 2019 going on. LPN is still working in the hospital. So when I see these YouTube that say LPN is not allowed to work in the hospital, LPN can't, I even said that too. LPN can't work, well, let me backtrack. RNs can't work as an LPN. You're still an RN. You gave up that LPN license. That's what I was saying. But lately I've been seeing about phasing out the LPN and where can an LPN work. So I'm going to tell you where can an LPN work. Maybe not in your state, but all those states that I travel, there's an LPN in the hospital. Not in the nursing home. I'm working, traveling. Although I did get an assignment in nursing home, traveling. But the majority of my career has been traveling in a hospital setting. So quite a few hospitals are still using LPN. They're not phased out yet. They can still work in the hospital. The difference is when you're working as an RN with an LPN in the hospital, sometimes they may put you in charge of responsible for her IVs or if she has blood. But most of the time, what I've seen, the LPN is just certain drugs they may not be able to push. You're there. And most of the time, they're just independent, doing what they do best. So I was in Michigan and the hospital, the majority, not only on the psych floor, because I asked, medical, ICU, not, they were working, basically. They were working as a regular nurse along with the RN. So maybe we should say until they phase them out, which I don't see how is it going to be possible with the shortage of nurses, with RN school eliminating the students and not are coming out and the older RN are going by doing other things, getting out of nursing. So until then, yes, some of the states allow their LPN. I guess they give them, I'm not sure if it's special training in the hospital, but the majority can work in the hospital. Now, most LPN usually go towards the nursing home because, you know, that's more LPN friendly, I could say. So the LPN can work in the hospital. There are some states, I'm not sure if my state, Pennsylvania, is one of those states because they're BSN heavy in that state, in the northern state. I don't know about Georgia, I can't tell you, but where I work, I only could tell you about one hospital where I work. There's an LPN there, and yes, they do the medication, and the RN do more of the counseling, the group therapy. So that's basically the difference between an LPN and an RN working in the hospital. Phased out LPN, like I said, I do not see it happening anytime sooner. No, no way. No way can we phase out an LPN who so strongly, they know what they're doing. Some of those LPN, like I said, they could ring around some RNs. And please, RN, don't get in your feelings right now. You know it's true. And just because I'm an LPN, I know I am appreciative of my background as an LPN because that helps me with the clinical, how to deal. Most of the RN that I've seen that coming out of school, they're coming out of BSN school because it's like, you got to have your BSN. You got to have your BSN. And what BSN does in their last year, so it's a 4-year school, in their last year, that's when they get clinical. Whereas LPN start the first, like maybe the next month, they're in their clinical. RN in a 2-year program, in their second year, they're in even, well, up north, we started early in our clinical. So if you get a lot of clinical, that's very important. I find the BSN nurse, they're coming out, I'm sorry, my blouse is all messed up. They're coming out and what they're doing is they're more like supervisors, material in their mind. They want that position, the office position, the administrative position. They're not clinically staff floor nurses. Don't get in your feelings now. And it's the truth. So they don't really stay on the floor that long. There's not a lot of office position. Most of them has to come in the floor. And that's when they learn in their clinical skills. So you can't phase out. As a matter of fact, at the hospital where I was working, and that wasn't the first hospital I've traveled around, and there was a majority was LPN. That LPN was, a couple of them I noticed was orienting the RN to the unit. So we need them. RNs, we need them. So the school may say they're going to phase out LPN. I can't see it possible happening anytime sooner. LPN is allowed to work in a clinical setting, meaning in the clinic. Kaiser permanent, and Kaiser is in California. Kaiser is heavy in Georgia. They got LPNs and RN. That's a clinic setting, office setting. LPN work there. LPN we know can work in a nursing home. LPN can work in a prison, in a jail, detention center. And what they do in those jails, they're the ones that go down to the pod and give out meds. I told you in Philadelphia, I was an LPN when I first started out. Try giving medication to 300 plus inmates, and you have to finish it in about before 11 o'clock. You start at 9 and you got to finish it by 10, maybe 10:30, but not letting 11 o'clock. I mean, everybody comes out for medication. So if you're not fast, if you're not skilled, if you don't see the person like I do, oh, that's John coming way down the hall. I got his meds. I got it. I'm waiting for him. As soon as he comes, next. You got to be skilled at that. You got to use your eyes, use your mind, and be fast. That's what LPN does in the prison. There are times when the RN, I don't mind giving meds. I'll go down there. That's because I was fast at it and I know what I was doing, so I would do it. But now, going back in the prison, it would take me a while to get in the swing to wrap it up. So these are places, and other places. Home care is big with LPN. So LPN can work alongside the RN in every nursing setting, but with limitations. She's under the supervision of an RN. So I don't see the phase out. Don't even think about it, LPN. I got your back. We got your back. Nursing school is a prediction. Just like they say, every RN need to get their BSN. There are nurses that I've traveled and in Georgia, they still did not get their BSN yet. So it's a prediction. So don't get all confused. Don't get all worried. I gotta have my RN. If you feel like you want to go up above and get a step up, you want to be an RN, go for it. But don't let these predictions force you into doing something, because when you get to that level, if you're not happy or comfortable in that skin or comfortable in that role, then you won't be happy. So if you're content just being an LPN, don't worry about the phase out. I don't see it coming. When it comes, we cross that road, right? To bring you the correct information. So I took it upon myself and I asked people above me, older nurses in administration now. They're sitting at the desk. They got that easy, cushy job. So I asked somebody that's in nursing school, how come I'm seeing that there's a lot of LPNs still in the hospital, even though they say they're phasing them out? Phase out. So when I was in, I think it was in Missouri, I asked someone about that question, and they said the LPN that they have in the hospital, they're grandfathered in. Meaning, grandfather in mean that the LPN that they have been with them for so long, so many years, they just don't want to throw them out, make them homeless. They're going to keep them because they're good LPN. They've been working with them. So the hospital decide to keep those LPN. As they retire, they're not going to hire any more LPNs. So that's what I was told. So even though we hear phased out, and I'm seeing, and you may see LPNs still in the hospital, I think this is what the lady up north told me, that they're grandfathered in, meaning that they won't be replaced as they get older and retire. They're just going to replace them with an RN. If you're sitting home and you want a new career, and you read that, or maybe you watched a YouTube video that said, "Oh, LPN is going to be phased out. They're not going to have this in nursing anymore. Every RN has to have a BSN." And you sitting home and say, "Oh my God, so I can't be an LPN because I want my dreams of working in the hospital, working with the kids in the hospital, not psych, pediatric LPN is doomed because they said they're going to phase me out because I can't work in the hospital. RN is going to be 4 years and I need to go because I need to get my BSN." It's 2019. They've been saying that since the 80s. And they said it again and again. Nursing school. I don't know how they come up with this prediction. I've seen, I should say, nursing school predicting to me that we all have to have a BSN. I have lived to see that it is true up north. You gotta have that BSN. So that's one of the predictions that I see that is happening, and it's slowly happening. I'm not sure if it's happening in Georgia. But as far as phasing out the LPN, I haven't seen it yet because they really need them. They need them. And so if you're sitting home and you said, and you may be out of a job, and this is the fastest thing, 1 year as an LPN. Now I know in Georgia, some places are making it 2 years. But back in the days, if anybody know, they could let me know, comment if there's still a 1 year LPN program. Come on. 1 year? You're LPN? I'm not going to push the nursing home. That's what you want me to say. Work in the nursing home and then get your RN. Work wherever you feel comfortable. If you become an LPN, the fastest thing to working and getting your money and paying your bills instead of staying on that unemployment line, be an LPN, work wherever you want, make the money, and then go to school. You can do it part-time, you can do it full-time, you can work on the weekend like I did. Every weekend, 16 hours. That's 32 hours in 1 week. That's a paycheck to pay the bills and survive while you getting your RN. So go to a 2-year school to become an RN because the phase out is not complete, or the phase out for you to have an associate is not complete yet. So, please subscribe, comment, get me notice on YouTube, and let me know, what do you want to hear from me? Have a wonderful day or night in your state or your country. I noticed that you've seen some videos that I've been posting. I tried myself at ASMR, and I don't know if I'm going to continue that, but I may dibble and dabble. I started to post It wasn't an accident. Video of it. I have started, I have some games out. Um, and I'm going to be posting. If you see the video, just give me a like or